It's Dawn. Welcome back. Welcome back. I've been digging through my stash in my quest to use my stuff, shop my stash in 2025, and came across these three small core palettes. They have 6 colors each. I think this one's called, I had to look it up, granulators. This one's called Urban, and then this one is called like Intense, High Intensity, or as you can see, for good reason. But what I thought my plan was for today was to just do a little watercolor pattern with a limited palette. And then I'm going to just pick one of these palettes today. I was thinking about doing the granulating one, but any of these three would be great. And what I did when I had bought these was I swatched them and then wrote the names on the back so that I didn't have to, because the names are on the bottom. But when your paint's wet, you don't want to flip it over to go, which one is that? And the other thing is these cakes are not staying in great. So these pans came with 6 pre-filled cakes, or pre-filled pans, half pans, 6 empty ones, and then this palette here in the middle. So this part is kind of cool. It doesn't sit flat, so that's not great, but that's okay. But this is like silicone in here. These aren't. These are more half pans that are the typical hard plastic that you would expect, but these feel like the silicone cupcake molds that are out there. So that it's kind of a weird sensation, and it's what holds these half pans in. It gives a nice grip though, because they the cakes don't stay in, but the half pans do. Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't stop it. Anyway, well, apparently I'm allergic to life this morning. I'm going to open up my sketchbook, my book, the book that I made, and I'm just going to flip to a page, and we're going to, we're going to play around with some colors. I think I'm going to do a mother, a limited palette with a mother, and playing with some patterns and just kind of seeing what we can have. So let me get set up here and we'll be right back. Okay, so the plan today is to do something kind of like what I did with this spread, where I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I picked 8 colors in this one, and then I created a mother, and then I re-swatched those colors with the mother involved, and then I just did a pattern. So I'm going to do something like that. And you know what? I'm making a game time decision. I am not going to do granulating. I want something with yellow in it. So I'm going to go with this Urban. Nope, I'm not either. I can't make up my mind. I'm going to go with the high intensity ones because it's got a nice range of colors. It's got a nice Roy G. Biv happening here. So we're going to go with this one. And then I may play with something over here on the other side. I'm just going to turn a page or two and go find a clean spot to work. Maybe. Okay. We'll find. There we go. And get some swirl some paint on the paper. That's at the end of the day what we want to do. Play around with our paints. So what I need to probably do is label these bad boys. So I'm gonna get let's see, Hansa Yellow light. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and label these and I'll be back in a second. So I just gently sprayed my paints with some water. I mean super gently sprayed, and then look what happened. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? It just is what it is. But I'm not sure I'm gonna get a pure pigment now as a result. But we're just playing anyway. Just playing. So this is Hansa Yellow light. And then this is transparent pyrolle orange, which is super juicy. I mean, come on, look at that. And then I ought to just be putting this into a palette is what I ought to be doing. All right, well, this might be the palette here. This is the mother palette right here. I've just decided, just this moment. Instead of rinsing it off in the water, we're going to rinse it off into... All right, and then this guy is magenta, and he's getting contaminated by other colors, but we're just not going to worry about it, she says with trepidation in her voice. And we're just going to stick the extra pigment there with some extra water. All right, next we have dioxazine purple. Oof. This pigment did not come to play. It says, back up, hold my beer, I'm here. Mercy sakes, that's a color. All right. We're creating a mother here. All right, the only thing I don't have down here yet is the yellow, which I'll go back and add to it. That's not a problem. I can't get enough of this pigment off my brush. Come on, purple. Boy, howdy. That's a lot of purple. I'm going to have to go back and add. So the other pigments because it's going to overwhelm. Next is cerulean blue chromium. And boy, it's getting contaminated. Yep, that's already a contaminated chromium. All right. Plan B. All right, let's try this again. You know what? It's fine. It's still got a lot of purple in it. I'm not sure I like this swatching pan here. Maybe, oh, this one lays flat. Look at there. Okay, never mind what I said a minute ago. That other one didn't, but this one is, and this last color is phthalo turquoise. And I know my cerulean blue chromium is tainted, but I'm just gonna go with it. I don't want to take the time to stop and clean it up. How lazy is that? That's pretty dang lazy. All right, so we're gonna create a mother up here. I'm gonna try to clean this. Oh, good Lord. I think I made it worse. Well, we're gonna have a whole lot of mother up here, that's for sure. Well, we're just having a little fun today. Let's see if I can clean this up just a skosh. Grab a bunch of these pigments out of here. I feel like I'm just making it worse. I feel like I'm definitely making it worse. Oh well. We'll get some Q-tips out in a minute. All right, let's see if I can grab some water. Some pigment, I mean. I feel like all I'm grabbing is that dioxazine purple. And I really don't want this mother just to be about the purple. All right, let's see if we can grab some red now. Put that in the mother. Very purpley looking mother, but the orange and the yellow haven't gone in there yet. That yellow is going to dodge it big time. Alright, let's play around with some of this orange. This orange is pretty intense. To make the mother. My clean water is now purple. Very purple. Luckily, I have a spare jar for just such an emergency. Fortunately, I keep my feathers numbered. Wow, I'm going to have a metric ass load of mother here. Let's see if we can get some of this pigment off the brush and get it into the pan instead of into the water. And let's not get it in our coffee. That's preferable. All right, come on. Yellow, Hansa Yellow light. Let's bring your act to the party. You know you want to come play. And yes, I'm going to end up cleaning up this pan when this is all done. But we just want to play with our pigments today. Play with our paints. All right, I'm going to go do a little cleanup job. And then we'll be ready. Okay, so I've got a lot of mother made up here. Perhaps a little too much in this paint palette here. I was just kept going and trying to get the right color, and then I was swatching it a little bit here to kind of see where I was. I went ahead and put it down. I'm liking it fine. These seem really dark, highly pigmented. When I wet these earlier, they really just splashed everywhere and super activated really quickly. So now I'm going to just do these colors with the mother here down like a little panel here on the side. Nothing fancy. I could like tape it off and make it. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that just for fun and giggles. Because I have not done that before. Where is my masking tape? My painter's tape. Oh, it's right here. The thing about when you rearrange your studio that nobody tells you about is that you put it in a good spot, but then you forget where that spot is. You go to get something, you're like, no, I moved that. Where did I move it to? I don't know. All right, so let's just do a quick little tape situation. Oh, I also did a pattern, if you can't tell. I did a little, I'm not even sure what this pattern is. Here's the stencil. It's like a Persian tile, or I'm not real sure. But I just did a little bit of just to play around with some of these colors. Then once I get the mother mixed in with them, because this helps unify the palette instead of it just being this big rainbow. Yeah, messed up. I can't get my tape peeled. Instead of being this big rainbow buffet of color, which is great. When you add the mother to it, it adds a uniformity to the colors. They all have a similar temperature. Or I'm not a technical person, so you have to forgive my use of words if they're not the right ones. Okay, so now we've just taped that off. Now we're just going to do a little swatchy, left to right. Grab a little of the color. Yeah, makes me nervous because these colors are so stinking vibrant. I didn't activate the mother. Probably I should have done that. All right. Sorry, that's just off camera. Let me see if I can pull it down just slightly. I'm using this big well right here. I grabbed a little bit of the Hansa Yellow, which I did look up on the back. It's PY3, in case anybody's playing along with a pigment game, home game. All right, so now I'm adding a little yellow. This is going to be a big stinking muddy mess. This is not what I wanted. I want a little bit of mother and a lot of yellow. I did it backwards. Let's try that again. We're going to clean the brush. Take two. I'm going to grab a little mother first. I did it wrong. Then grab the yellow. And a lot more water, hopefully. That definitely made it greenish. Because yellow plus anything kind of goes green to me. All right, so that's the yellow. Now let's grab a little mother and a little of the transparent pyrolle orange. I also labeled them up here too so that I won't forget, you know, what palette this is. I put QOR Intense palette. Oh yeah, that really, that mother works every time, doesn't it? I'm not sure if I like these as much as I want to with the mother in them. I was hoping to like them a little more, but it's just play. Now we're moving on to Quin Magenta, which is one of my favorite colors, and I got too much mother, so let's water that down a skosh and just grab magenta. Quinacridone magenta. Not sure that did much for that Quin. I think I didn't put enough. I think it took off too much of the mother. Let's add a little back in. Okay, that's cool. These core colors are super pigmented. I really used Daniel Smith more than anything in my life, in my time, my hobby of watercoloring. But man, all right, purple. Oh, don't need much of him because he is so dark. And maybe a bit more than that. A bit more mother too. Come down just a little bit. We want you to mute just slightly. Not sure if I'd call that muted or not, but that's okay. All right, next one is the chromium blue. Sorry, cerulean blue chromium. That's the color I meant to say. Oh yeah, that's lovely. I'm cleaning my brush off on a scratch piece of paper that I then cut up into hearts and other things to use for art prompts and affirmations and journals. And oh, the last one is phthalo turquoise. Yay. I should have told you the pigment colors, but I forgot. Goodness. Phthalo came to play. Well, that's it there. All right, so now let's peel off the tape. Let's see. Well, didn't exactly get a super clean line, did we? But it's all right. Didn't burnish it very good, obviously. But there's that. Now what we'll do is just start, I'm going to use probably a smaller brush. That was my Escoda 10. Now I'm going to jump down to like a 5 for these tile patterns. And I'm just going to start grabbing some colors and swatching, not swatching, but making making a combo of these colors to see what we can come up with. I don't really want to go in order. What I want to do is, and that's just green as it can be. Might just do some yellow just by itself without the mother, just to brighten the page up a little bit, but we'll start here. What I typically do is I'll do that color and then I'll just dip it in water for this watercolor pattern exercise practice thing, and then do the next one, and I might even do a third where I'll jump down and do this guy right here, and then I'll change color. By that time the color's out of my the pigment's out of my brush, and then I'll go grab another color, and instead of going in Roy G. Biv or the palette order, I'm going to jump around a bit so that it's not all like, I don't know, stripey feeling. I may jump over now and grab some phthalo turquoise, a little bit of mother, do a little, wow. Not sure if I care for this palette. See that, how it's lighting up core? I mean, it's like, yeah, I just don't know. Add a little more mother to that. It just feels like it's just the color that comes straight out of the pan. It's very phthalo turquoisey. Keep adding more and more mother to it. It doesn't seem to be dulling it much. I do like how white this is though inside the 10, because it then lets you see, you know, the mixture you've made. I didn't finish my thought there, did I? And I don't bother knocking back my pencil lines when I'm just doing a little exercise like this. I just leave them. Nobody thinks this is some sort of masterpiece. Okay. Where do I want to go next? Do I want to go red? I think I do. All right, let's pick up a little quin, and let's just jump in and grab whatever. Ooh, that made it purple. Well, let's see if we can get something close to the quin here. Wow, that is so purple. I'm gonna have to lighten this up. That's very grape. Well, this palette does not lie. It's called the Intense palette, and it is living up to its name. These colors are super intense. And I don't dislike them, but it's like, bam. Hello, color. I'm going to get some pigment off of this. Let's see if we can lift some of this up just a little. It's just so much. You just can't enjoy it if it's black. I'll just bring this over. This is what I'm scratching onto, by the way. I lift the pigment like that, and then I just find an empty place, and this is indigo, and you know, you can just see it's just full of all kinds of, and it just sits off to the side, and if I get too much pigment or I'm cleaning off my brush, I clean it there first. And then I make cards and stuff out of this. Birthday cards and get well soon and whatever. Alright, that's feeling a little better, a little less intense. I used to just wipe it off onto rags and paper towels, and I thought, well, that's just such a waste to me. So that's when I started doing it on paper. I have one for my Posca markers, like when I'm getting them started. Some people call it under paper, and they put paper underneath what they're working on, but I don't like the rattle of the under paper. I use it under paper, but when I'm doing something fairly clean like this or a Posca pen, I just use a notebook like this. All right, so that's that color. That was magenta. What about if we jump over into blue? Maybe we'll put the cerulean blue here next to the turquoise, the phthalo turquoise. We'll just use a corner up here and grab some mother. Kind of neutralize that color a bit. Oop, too much. All right, more cerulean. I'm supposed to just use a dot. Supposed to just use a dot, but I find that sometimes a dot doesn't change it enough. A dot of the mother, I meant. Oh, that was so sloppy looking. So and so. That made an interesting teal, didn't it? I like it. Oh yeah, look at that watered down. That looks like a slate gray, slate blue gray. I like that. It's pretty. All right, let's grab some pyrolle orange. Wish me luck. Pyrolle orange is such an intense color. was trying to find my hexagon template like this, and you know, again, that cleaning thing, I'm in the process of rearranging and reworking my studio, and I put all my stencils in the same place, except that one's not there. I don't know. Sometimes I put, when I'm working on a project, I will put the items that go with that project all together, and I'm nervous that I've put that hexagon in with something else when I shouldn't have. It's probably accidental. It and my box cutters. And I have a real skinny version of this one. Love these guys, and I can't find my skinny one. It's really great for bookbinding, and I can't find it. And again, I think it's with the project. All right, I'm whining. I'll stop for now. I'm just mad at myself for... Tools should not go into a project. Tools should go back in the tool drawer, or where the tool goes. Things that are just for that project, that paper or fabric or whatever, okay, that can stay in the project bin. But I've got so many project bins, that's the problem. Okay, we just did transparent pyrolle orange. What have we not done? Well, that's technically quin magenta. We haven't done the purple. Ugh. All right, let's clean the brush off. Wipe it on the paper, squirrely, squirrely, squiggly. And at some point here fairly soon, I'm going to flip this over and start a new one. In fact, I might start it now. All right, we haven't done purple. I really don't want to do purple next to this magenta. What if I did just a little bit of magenta again here with just a teeniest of touches of yeah, speak, I'm trying. Excuse me, of the mother, just to kind of create a little barrier, I guess. Not a barrier, but just like a color barrier, color palette cleanser situation. See, this is just so pink, so magenta. I can't get the ratio of mother to pigment for some of these really intense colors, because I get what I think is just the right amount of mother, and then it's not. All right, I like that. Okay. I'll do this one. And again, I didn't grab any more pigment. I just used what's on my brush, and I may need some more water because this brush doesn't hold a lot of water. But I like how small it is. I can't be trusted with a big brush with these kind of intense pigments. They'd run away with me. All right. White page. Blah, blah, blah. Dry brushing. And then we get some water. Make sure we get it all out. All right. Let's go back to our yellow. Our Hansa Yellow light. And we're going to just grab a little bit of it here. It's very yellow. This is drying down more yellow than green, I'm finding, especially like that one and that one. They look very green going on the paper, but it looks far more yellow in the moment. I just want a little bit of mother in that. It's just so yellow. There we go. All right, well, we'll see what happens. Let's add another yellow here. One more? Okay. All right, let's grab some orange. We're really going to water this down and get a... Oh, that's watered. I mean, goodness gracious. me take back my thing about I like highly pigmented paints. I think I like a few of them, but when they're all super pigmented like this, it's really a struggle to get a good result on the paper. Because everything is coming back, bam, in your face. And I'm trying not to repeat the pattern like boom, boom, boom. If you'll see, I'm trying to make it be intentionally irregular. I didn't finish my sentence, but I hope you heard my thought. All right, I'm going to keep the little bit of orange that's left on my brush, and I'm just going to go back over here and grab some of this. With a little more mother in it, I think. That's kind of turning it a bit green now. We've gone from phthalo turquoise to a teal color, which turquoise is a teal, but it's now this is looking a tad more green. I like it. Limited palette is not something I'm very good at. Want all the colors. I want the 64 box of crayons and then complain that I don't have all the colors I need, but that's another story. But I'm the person that really likes a lot of color choices. So this exercise is in part to get familiar with these paints, but it's also in part to make me stretch and seek out new combinations of colors to see what I can get so that I don't have to have 64. All right, we haven't done purple yet, and I'm really dreading purple because that purple is just boom. All right, purple, here we go. Golly. All right. Oh, I just made a big mess. All right, we're going to offload some of that pigment and see if we can't. Yeah, I guess oh my gosh. Purple. You gotta love it or hate it. I'm choosing to love it. But there's some days where it challenges me and I know it wants me to dislike it. Not today. I'm not getting my sanity today, purple. Come back tomorrow. Okay. I think we'll go back to cerulean blue. Oh, I like that. That's kind of what I got here. That's the little turquoise though. Oh, weird. Okay. All right. I think, what was I thinking just now? Oh, magenta. I think we ought to grab Queen Magenta again. This is also a good mark making exercise when you have this little paper over here to the side, because just muscle memory, right? And it gives you something to do if you've got too much pigment. Something to do with it. And this is a 5 and below pad of paper. Old 5 and below, because they're gray now, I think, but don't matter. Grab it, cheap watercolor paper out of the kids' section in the dollar store or wherever. Be surprised what you can do with these off papers. That dried out on me. All right, let's see if we can really pale this girl down. She's still very magenta though. Just don't feel like the mother's really kind of dodging her a little bit. There we go. There we go. Maybe a little too much dodge, but it's all right. That's what this. Okay, should we add a little magenta back in? Maybe. Dangerous game I'm playing, back and forth, forth and back. All right. Should we do a watered down version here? Yeah. This is more like what I was hoping to get up there, but we got there eventually. Okay. Where to next? Probably got to go warm in here because we got a couple cools. So that's going to be either yellow, which is here, or orange, which is there. Yeah, let's go orange. Let's try to get that orange a bit. Well, what's the opposite? Also, complementary colors are good next to each other too. Is the other thing to do. I wonder if I had to put turquoise in the middle of that. Don't know. Pick a color and go for it. Okay. Don't overthink the ink. I try to live by that. Doesn't always work. And that is barely going to show up. I need a little more pigment there. Now I definitely need something warm. finally found an orange that just doesn't hit you like a pumpkin. Or maybe it does. Alright, offload the brush. Last one was squiggles, this one's lines. Okay, purple. I think the next yellow I'm going to do, I'm going to really pull a lot of mother in it and make it more leaning towards the green. Because this is like a green gold or yellow green. I'm going to see if I can maybe lean into that yellow a little bit harder with the mother and get a truer green. I don't know if I can, but I really like that. That's pretty. That's pretty. I'm going to scooch this a little bit so I stay in frame. All right, let's see if we can't get oh, there. Look at there. The other thing I ought to be doing is mixing the color into each, not just into the mother, which we've obviously done and successfully, and we now see the color range that we get with that. But what would be fun, what I ought to do, is start mixing maybe on this page over here, I'll do that. I'll mix Hansa with the magenta and see what I get, you know. All right, what do I want to mix this Hansa with? Let's just put a little orange in it and see what we get. Let's start messing around with it a little bit. That makes like a neat peach. Okay. Now let's just get a little magenta in that mixture. I have no idea what we're about to get. Purple just decided to flood. Great purple. Wow, that was rude. I'm going to dodge it with some yellow. And some mother. And some more yellow. I just completely corrupted my yellow mixing. Oh well. Oh. I have no idea what color I just made. It's a Frankenstein color. It's like a burnt orange. I don't know if I like it or not. It's like a burnt sienna. I don't hate it, but it's like, wow, okay. Well, I just ended up with a whole big mess, so I'm just going to carry on. come at it over here. Got a lot of pigment on the brush, so just spread it out. It's a little magenta, a little pyrolle, a little purple, and a little yellow. Pyrolle orange, I should say. Alright, one more, because now more of the red's coming through here. More of the orange was showing up, but now more of the magenta is showing up over here. Or the dioxazine purple. What do they say? Happy accidents? There are no accidents. Man, it's spring and everything's blooming and my throat is going crazy. Alright. Let's make some vertical lines here. Some dry brushing. Alright, what's next? We need to bring some of this turquoise back in. Intense color. I know, it's the intense palette. I get it. Wow. That's too intense. Alright, now let's pick up some water. See if we can neutralize this a touch. Okay. This is what this little side paper is looking like, and that's just little bits of pigment that are left on my brush. I love it. Alright. I feel like I got enough yellow. Do I have enough magenta? I don't know. Wow. You know what? We're just going to do a little bitty one here. Oh, hello. Okay, maybe a little green. Let's take some Hansa Yellow and let's add it to this chromium, cerulean blue chromium, sorry. It's over here on the edge. Let's see what kind of green we can get. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty. Still a springy green, but I think that's all you're going to get with this really bright yellow. This PY3, I think it was. because there's not a warm yellow in that palette. It's all cool yellows. Well, only a cool yellow. All right, that's a little more sap green to me. I'm liking that. I'm going to add it over here too, I think. I know there's these empty spots here, and I had left them intentionally, but I think I'm going to go back and do them. Just going to eyeball them. Because I thought I'd just like leave it like irregular shaped, but then those look like holes. I don't know, maybe I'll just leave the hole. Who knows? Okay, what do we need now? Maybe purple. Golly, you misbehaving thing. I left that green on my brush just now, by the way. And I'm picking up the tiniest little bit. Oh, and there it went spilling down from the well into... Well, here we go. Buckle up, people. There it is. Golly, Pete. I like the color, but does it always have to just like spill? Like you touch the side of the mixing well and the pigment's just poised on top and it just rolls on in. You're like, welcome, you an invited guest. I did not invite you. These cakes are rounded. They got a nice dome on them, like this, so that when they're sitting in the pan and you just, yeah, you get the idea. Okay, let's do this one. I like that muted purple though. That was a lot of mother and a little bit of purple. All right, let's do that. Let's do a little bit of the cerulean, whatever, and a whole lot of mother. And let's go here. Now we're playing what if. These were a lot of pigment and a little bit of mother. Down here at the bottom is going to be the reverse. And I know I'm not writing down the recipes or, you know, what the combinations were, but just the fact of the matter is that you don't have to have that. You just got to know what this palette is capable of and decide if it's what you want, what you're looking for. The tonal, the atmosphere, the vibrancy or lack of. All right, let's do that again. So we're going to do a piece of color. So let's grab, we did purple, we did cerulean. So let's grab magenta. No, let's grab phthalo. A little bit of phthalo. Swipe. Oh, too much phthalo. And a whole lot of mother. Then let's go over here and see what we get. Get ready. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to offload some colors over here. Just so you can see how much pigment. That was the first one here. Golly. Did I get any mother in there at all? And I dunked into the mother. I really did. Okay, I like that color though. It's a good way to practice leaf shapes too. All right, we're going to try this again. Phthalo is overpowering everything. Just like the purple. And the orange and the magenta. Who am I kidding? The only one that doesn't overpower everything is the cerulean and the yellow. They play along. They play nicely with the others. The rest of these are bullies. Yep, I said it. You will know that I am here. Alright, I'm just going to fake this little middle piece here. Just because I got a ton of pigment I want to get rid of. Let's see if I can pull some of this pigment off. Mark making. Better not scrub this paper too much. It'll probably not put up with a whole lot of manipulation. It's a Strathmore 300 series, but it's still not like amazing paper quality. Okay, so we did dioxazine purple, chromium blue, cerulean blue chromium. I keep doing that. Phthalo turquoise. Should we do magenta next, or should we do orange? Let's do the transparent pyrolle orange next. Let's grab some water. We're going to grab just a dip of the paint, and I got too much, no way. And then a whole lot of the mother. And let's see what we get here. Oh, that's black. All right, let's try it again. Oops, I'm off camera. You couldn't see it. Well, I'll fix that. Ugh. Except when you push, other things get rearranged. Okay, try it again. Get a dollop, a dip, and then no, that is not enough mother. Okay. I like doing 3 of that color, you know, like I've been doing, breaking up the pattern, but I like doing 3 because then it really gives you a, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it just gives you a little history of the color and how it works. All right. Magenta, I think, is next. Grabbing a little dollop of her and a whole lot of mother, and cross your fingers. Wow, that's a lot of mother. That's a lot of magenta. All right, let's try a little more mother. I'm just wiping the brush, pigment off the brush so I can try again. I feel like I just didn't get that one right. The proportions right. Maybe I did. Maybe that's the color I'm going to get again, but we'll find out. It's very grape. All right, a dollop and a dunk. Ooh, I like that terminology. A dollop and a dunk. A dip and a dunk. Ooh, like you're dipping your toes into the stream to see if it's cold. Versus the polar plunge. Which, candidly, good on you if you can do it. I see no reason to get out of a perfectly warm pair of clothes. Okay. So the only one we haven't done now with the dip and the dunk, the dip of yellow and a dunk of the mother, is the yellow, Hansa Yellow light. And this is going to get obliterated by the mother, but it's okay. Dip, dunk. Here we go. Ugh, this looks black. But now you know. Now I know. Yeah, very blacky gray. Okay, so we've got 2 segments left as it works out. How funny is that? Now I need to decide what colors I want to revisit, or maybe I just want to put some more yellow in here. I really like that. That was that orange and yellow I think put together. So what if I go dip into yellow, dip into pyrolle orange, and dip into mother. Dip, dip, dip. Let's see what happens here. Oh, did I even dip into yellow? I don't think so. We're dunking into yellow now. Wow. We're grabbing a bit more mother as well. Well, the transparent pyrolle orange is definitely a warm color. It's one of the few warm colors on this palette. It's the only warm color on this palette. I suppose the little turquoise might be considered warm, but it's warm-ish. All right, and for our last combo, what shall we do? Dip, dip, dunk of what? Let's do... I'm thinking the 2 blues. The blue and the turquoise, whatever. They kind of look both blue to me. All right, so let's go dip into the cerulean blue. Barely dip into the turquoise. I mean, the smallest of dips, and then dunk into the mother. All right, here we go. What do we get? Oh, neat. Oh, I really like that color. Oh, I'm a fan. Wow, especially this one right here that I'm doing right now. This is really a fun cerulean blue chromium. The smallest amounts of phthalo turquoise, and I mean I barely let this little tippy tip of the bristles touch that color. And then a nice dunk into the mother. Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. I'm much happier with the bottom half than I am the top half. The top half I was doing just a dip of the a dunk of the pigment and a dip of the mother, but I like it better when I got to the bottom when I was reversing that. But it's still a nice little exercise, and that was fun. Okay, well, thanks for joining me on this little journey. I'm cleaning off my brush on my pad, and now I've got this little pad now full of little mark makings for other things, and of course my squiggly one before that, and this little exercise. So I appreciate you sticking around, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.